Welcome to Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown, coming at you on this beautiful Thursday, August 3rd. We're going to go ahead and start talking about some stuff that's MMA related, also fan related, more so just my thoughts and things I want to talk about today because, well, it's my show and I can do what I want. So, if you got any comments, questions, concerns, emails, I've been getting a lot of DMs from people on Instagram because on Instagram, if you go to Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown, you'll find my page, and what I do is I post my picks for off the UFC Fantasy. If you don't know what that is, you get the download from UFC on your iPhone or your Droid, and you go to UFC, then you go top left corner, scroll down, you'll see Fantasy. Go ahead and sign up. If you're a Fight Pass user like I am, you're going to end up having a login and a username. If you go to the Fantasy, you don't have to be a Fight Pass user, but however, you can go on there and you can click and put what choices of fights you want to pick. And for example, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, UFC 214. I chose John Jones. You could pick the fighter, you could pick how they're going to win, and then you pick what round they're going to win in. So what I like to do is I like to make my picks. I went with John Jones, knockout in the second round. He ended up getting in the third round. And I picked that. And then I did the next fight, Woodley, by actually, I don't remember what it was on Woodley, but I picked him and ended up going to decision. However, I screenshot those. I put them on my Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown, and then from there, you'll see my initial pick of who I want to win, how I want them to win, and what round they're going to win in. And then on the other side of that, you'll see the screenshot at the end of the fights of the actual results that happened for me, how my picks were. UFC 214 was fucking opposite day. It happens once in a while. You get fights that go back and forth, or you get fights that were so close to call, referees mess them up, whatever. On this one, I just had absolute bad picks. It just happens. I'm not even going to fucking hate on it. I did get the main ones. I mean, I went with Cerrone. I went with Jimmy Manuwa. They both lost. Cerrone by decision, Jimmy Manuwa by knockout. Spoiler alert. Fuck y'all. Watch that shit. Live. Don't come back here and be like, oh, you spoiled it. Dude, it's 4 days. If you ain't watched it, you ain't a big enough fan. So, fuck you. I picked Cyborg to knock out Tanya Evangeline. That was easy to fucking choose. Tyron Woodley, Damian Maia. I actually wanted Tyron Woodley. I wanted Maia to win, but I knew Tyron would probably do it. I could be completely off on that, and I could have picked Maia. I don't remember. But here's the thing. You go to Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown on Instagram, you'll see who I picked and how it won and lost. However, I'm ranked 5,364 on the UFC Fantasy. It starts every year in January. It restarts. You're always starting at zero. From that time, everybody on the Fantasy, whoever chooses, whatever you choose on your card, that's where the ranking puts you. And you could start out and do so good you're number one, but the next week you get worse and worse or better and better, whatnot. And since I've started, and it's August, and it's January 1st is when we started the fights, I am ranked 5,364. My wife is kicking my ass. I taught her how to use it. She makes her choices. She does research the way she wants. She actually has got a better score than me. She's 5,002 or 5,001. I got a buddy of mine who was on ESPN with me back in the day. If you didn't know, I was actually on ESPN Radio in San Diego, Pound for Pound Sports Talk then, which that's what led on to Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown. And we just do it for fun. Keeps you entertained, keeps you in the fight. You could either go and put money on fights to keep you interested in them, so that way you pay attention. You're not just watching undercard shit that's boring sometimes or exciting, guys you don't know. However, with the UFC Fantasy, it's a great thing to watch. It's a great thing to see how you rank. And you know what? When I go to Vegas and I put money on fights, I'm a lot more confident knowing that this is my ranking. Like, I have a really good chance to win versus lose. Actually, one of my greatest accomplishments when it came down to getting money was this guy, Rampage Jackson, Quentin Rampage Jackson. I actually knew that he had knocked out Chuck Liddell in Pride, and I knew he did that. And I went around the MGM Grand when they were fighting in the UFC the second time, and at that time Chuck Liddell had the belt. And I walked around asking people, who you going for? Chuck Liddell's got him. And now this is after Chuck and Tito. This is after Chuck's laying everybody out. I mean, he had beautiful hands. He's a great fucking sambo fighter, kickbox fighter. He's got many talents, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. The dude is a badass. He might even come back. I hope he comes back. However, I was walking around the whole casino asking people just, who you going for? Chuck Liddell. Mostly white dudes. And I went to the betting lines. I put some money down, and I ended up with 900 and some odd change dollars from because I picked Rampage to knock out Liddell in the first round. It fucking paid off. I got lit. It was great. People were actually so mad they were throwing food and drinks at me and my buddies in the MGM Grand. But hey, you know what? We walked out there with money, so cool. Anyways, so there's the fantasy little spiel talk that I like to bring up because, well, it's fun. It makes you want to watch and want to see what's going on. It keeps you engaged, and you can see who else is ranked in the world and whatnot. So, moving on from there, I want to talk about the MMA fans in the world because I have an announcement coming up a little bit later in this show, and I'll let you know what that is. But MMA fans in general, how many friends do you have that like MMA? When the NFL comes on every season, you got, preseason, you got regular season, then you got the playoffs, and you start seeing way more conversation, way more news, way more everything. And with that, MMA fans kind of get left behind because we have a season sport, an all-season sport, rather, that we get to watch. I mean, almost every weekend now we got MMA coming on with Bellator, UFC, Invicta. We got, jiu-jitsu tournaments coming on. You got local shows you can check out online sometimes. That being said, cheers to all the MMA fans. Thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking and viewing, and I appreciate you checking me out. Cheers to you. So, with that being said, I have 3 MMA fans that are deep into MMA, that talk MMA. Now, I train jiu-jitsu. If you follow my Instagram page, you'll see on Alliance San Diego is where my team is. Alliance Carlsbad, the extension of the team, just northern San Diego. I train down there with some great bad motherfuckers that have some really good skills. And when you're rolling or right before you're rolling, you got the guys you talk to and you shoot the shit. But real friends, people you can call right now, I'm going to come over to your house and whatnot. I got 3 really good ones, 3 of them. And with that, shout out to Nick, shout out to coworker Ron, and shout out to coworker Jim. I'm working on one other dude at work. He's loving the fight so far. He's a former Charger fan who is tired of NFL because Chargers left to go from San Diego to L.A., and so he's like, you know what? Fuck football. I'm sick of it. These motherfuckers just keep losing, and they keep fucking us. So what about MMA? So he watched John Jones, Daniel Cormier, and he's loving life. So anyways, going on with that, I love talking MMA. It's good that we have friends, and we should grab those friends and talk to them and have these conversations because MMA is becoming one of the greatest things in the world. And not only that, it's something everyone can do. Now, you don't have to compete. You don't have to go out there in the world and try and get punched in the face all day. But if you've trained jiu-jitsu, if you've trained boxing or some kind of a kickboxing, if you've practiced wrestling, there's a gnat. If you've done anything self-defense-wise, it's a really good thing for you. Now, I have a daughter myself. I'm excited to get her into these sort of sports, and there's a reason why. Is because you never know in this crazy world where the fuck things are going to happen and what's going to happen. With that being said, it's good to know how to defend yourself, but it's also good to have these conversations with friends because it keeps your mind thinking about things. For example, when Jimmy Manuwa got knocked out, the referee who went down to help Jimmy Manuwa, Jimmy shot in to get a single leg from his knees, grabbed the ref's legs. As he's going for it, the ref spun around on his back, got north-south, face-down position, and the world's like, holy fuck, this ref knows how to do jiu-jitsu. Yeah, a lot of these refs know jiu-jitsu. And I think it's smart that everyone in the world knows jiu-jitsu, women included, women especially, because dudes that want to try and attack you and rape you, they're going to end up taking you to the ground, trying to get between your legs, and you're going to pull guard, and that's where jiu-jitsu starts. You can do a lot of things from that point. If you can get to guard, you're safe. After that, it's all academic challenges of what position you feel that you can get that person in that would be beneficial to you. So, especially women being raped and things, it's a good position to know how to sweep and get out of. I got other stories from local areas, women who have escaped those situations, and they're great to hear. They're fucking great to hear. So, what am I talking about today? Just MMA fans, just jiu-jitsu, just talking about MMA. And what I think about every day is that these people in the world, not only if you drive in traffic, heavy traffic, and you feel that you're always pent up frustration, go train jiu-jitsu. Go punch a heavy bag. Go wrestle somebody. Go, back when you were a kid, your parents kicked you out the house. I'm 35. They kicked us out the house and said, don't come back till the lights come off on the street. That time, get your ass home. And you did. And you're out with your buddies, and you're out wrestling, playing in the dirt, slap boxing. I don't know about a lot of you, but we used to slap box down the street. We got smart enough, we got some gloves, started hitting each other in the face. You get punched a few times, the loser cries, runs home, next day, you're back being friends again. That's how this shit starts, and I really hope that that keeps going in the world when it comes to mixed martial arts, but also just civilization and guys and girls alike. I hope all of them go out there and they slap box, and they try and take each other down. They surprise Nick and Nate Diaz and rear naked choke each other randomly. Do shit like that. Keep each other alert. Watch MMA, watch the fucking fights, stay hip to it, and keep watching my show, Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown. Click subscribe, check out my Instagram, Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown. I do this because I'm a fan, I do it because I love MMA, and I do it because I like talking about this shit to you people. So comment, send me DMs, it's all good. I take hate, I take love. At least you checking me out. So anyways, thanks for watching Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm trying to do one of these every day for the rest of my life. I don't know, just fun shit. And we're going to go ahead and talk about the UFC fight night that's coming up with Anthony Pettis and what's the guy's name? Moreno. Anthony Pettis versus Moreno for UFC fight night this week. So I'll be breaking that down a little bit later. Anyways, thanks for watching Ralph's Pound for Pound Breakdown. I'll see you tomorrow.